What is up, you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel. Now, this is past Aubrey and Janik recording this video. I recorded this on Monday before Election Day, so the person who's sitting here in front of you does not know who won the election. And that was done on purpose because I did not want to create a video right after Election Day and have to navigate the waters of who won and who lost and all those different details. But with it being said, in today's video, I do want to talk about the future and I want to talk about finances and the future. More specifically, I want to talk about 2021 and how 2021 could have an effect on your finances. I want to talk about what you can do and the steps you can take in order to prepare for the new year financially. So let's get started. I think that more than any other year, 2021 has a lot of different aspects that are really up in the air. And now, of course, as I'm recording this, I don't know who won the election, but as you guys are watching this, hopefully we know by now. But the fact is that our political leaders, our government, the Senate, the House, all of these things have a drastic effect on our finances going forward. Additionally, things like COVID-19 and a vaccine and the probability of getting a vaccine and when we're going to get a vaccine, these are all things that also have a heavy impact on our economy, on our finances, and what we can do to prepare financially for the new year. Now, the unfortunate reality is that so many things that affect our finances are things that are out of our control. We can't control the speed in which a COVID-19 vaccine is founded. We can't control whether or not the United States government goes into lockdown, if we go into quarantine, if we stay open. There are so many different aspects of our life that are heavily impactful to our lives, and yet we have no say and no control over it. With that, I do think it's important to really take control of the things that you can control, and that is your finances. I think that despite the fact that there are so many things that are up in the air, there are a lot of different ways that you can take control of your own finances by being extremely fiscally disciplined. And that's what I want to talk about today. So the number one thing that I think that everybody should do going into 2021 is live below your means. Now, before I get any hate, I understand that this is a finance 101 lesson. If you look online on how to save money or how to make money or how to budget, that's going to be the number one tip you see almost on every single website. Live below your means. And the reason why this is featured on every single website is because it's so true. Living below your means, creating a budget, following that budget, and being fiscally disciplined with that budget is the number one step in order to be financially prepared for anything. If you make sure that you're living below your means, you will most likely have money saved for an emergency. You will most likely have money saved in the case you get let go, if the case you get furloughed, if the case the economy doesn't pick back up. There are just a slew of different things that could happen in the new year, and living below your means is one of the best ways to assure that you are prepared for that. So if you haven't done so already, I would highly encourage you to start using a budget, whether it be mint.com, you need a budget, or even just writing it out on note and paper. Regardless of which method you choose, having some sort of budget and following that budget is an incredibly important aspect of being financially prepared for anything that may come. And because of that, I do think it's the number one thing you should do going into the new year. My second tip is probably my most important tip, and that is to hope for the best but prepare for the worst. Now, this is a phrase that I've been using my entire life, and I really do like it because of the fact that I think it really rings true to so many different aspects of your life. For example, where I think this lesson really has a lot of relevance is today with COVID-19 stimulus negotiations. Now, we've been talking about stimulus negotiations since March now, and it's been a long debate on whether or not we would receive stimulus package money in 2020. Now, I've been saying for a long time that I didn't think we would, and as we get closer to 2021, I think that's becoming more and more clear. But now the question is, will we get stimulus package money in 2021? And I think that the answer to that question is yes. I think we will end up seeing something, but the question really is when. When will we end up seeing a stimulus check? When will a stimulus package be passed? Now, if I was a betting person, I would say that we probably will see one at the end of the first quarter of 2021. But I absolutely would not count on that happening. I think it's perfectly normal and perfectly acceptable to hope for a stimulus check and to hope for a stimulus package to be passed. But where I think that you can get yourself into trouble is if you're counting on that stimulus check. If you're counting on some sort of aid from the government, if you're counting on unemployment, if you're counting for an eviction ban, if you're counting on any of these things to happen, that's where bad things can ultimately end up happening to you. Because if any of these things don't end up panning out in the way that you're hoping, then you could end up losing your house, losing your source of income, losing your car, losing so much more. So with that, I think that it's incredibly important to hope for the best, to be optimistic about the future, but at the same time, I think that you should prepare for the worst. And I think in this case, and in 2021, I think we should prepare for no stimulus package. I think that we should prepare for a delayed COVID-19 vaccine. I think that we should prepare for a downward spiral economy. That way, if any of these things don't end up coming to fruition, then you are in a really great position regardless. So prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. That's what I'm going to be doing going into 2021. My third tip to prepare financially for 2021 is to not only decrease your spending, but also increase your earning. Now, when it comes to spending and budgeting and finances, there are kind of two schools of thoughts, especially if you're somebody that's living above your means. You either have a spending problem and you're spending too much money, meaning that you're spending more money than you make, or you have in the words of Dave Ramsey, a shovel problem, meaning that you are simply just not making enough money to live. In some cases, it is extremely difficult to save money because you are just simply living so close to your means that it is very hard to save any extra money at the end of the month. And in some cases, this isn't a matter of overspending, it's just a matter of not making enough money. Saving money and living below your means sometimes isn't as black and white as just simply cutting out your expenses. And that sometimes the amount of money you make is so close to the amount of money you need to survive that there really is no leeway. And in this instance, and really in any instance, I would encourage you to figure out ways where you can make more money and also decrease your spending at the same time. This is where side hustles and side gigs can really come in handy. If you're somebody that has some extra time, if you have free time at home at night when your kids are asleep, I think that starting a side gig would be an excellent way to prepare financially for 2021. To prepare financially regardless of how secure your job is or what could happen with the stimulus package. There are so many ways to make extra money, and I do believe that in 2021 it would be an excellent time to explore those. And my final tip to prepare financially for 2021 is to really take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you. The fact is that during economic downfalls, whether it's from COVID-19, from the economy, from a housing crash, whatever the case is, there are opportunities to be had. In fact, one of my favorite quotes in the world is by the philosopher Seneca, and that is the quote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." And I really do love this quote because I think it is so incredibly true. So often, whenever somebody is extremely successful at something, whether it's business, sports, finances, whatever it is, people love to chalk that up to luck. And though I do believe luck plays a role in almost every aspect of life, I think that the fact is that luck really is when preparation and opportunity meet together and that person is prepared to seize that opportunity. As the economy shifts, there will be more and more needs in different industries and different sectors. There is a potential housing crash that is on the brim, and that could be a great opportunity to get into real estate investing. Depending on what happens in the coming months in the stock market, you could have some great stock choices and stock investments at your disposal. The opportunities are truly limitless, and depending on what happens in the next 3 to 6 months, there could be a lot of opportunity for you to start a business, grow an investment, invest in properties, whatever the case is. I believe that right now is a great time to keep your eyes and ears open to different opportunities and to set yourself up into a position to take advantage of any of those opportunities that may be laid out in front of you. And if you just open your eyes up to some of these different opportunities, there's a lot of room for growth. You just got to keep your eyes open, you got to prepare yourself, and you've got to be ready to jump on an opportunity when it presents itself. But you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. It really is crazy to think that it is already November. I remember whenever quarantine just started and my family canceled Easter, and that feels like it was just really like a month ago. So to think that was now like 8 or 9 months ago is crazy to think about, and we really will be in 2021 before we know it. But you guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on this video, so make sure to leave a comment down below. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.